Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River.
Hello, and welcome to Atomic Radio Hour, the show that dives into the wreckage that is post-apocalyptia. I'm your host, Vince. This is episode 17, and I'm also here with...
Your role-playing boy, Declan.
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
I only talked to you like 20 minutes ago. What's up?
No way, how are the kids?
You know, I still haven't seen them because Karen won't let me see them.
Great.
But we just got done playing the beta.
It was...
First night for PlayStation.
It was incredible.
And I want to talk about it. I have some notes.
Oh, of course. I didn't take notes. I was too busy trying to build the best hunting rifle I could in 4 hours.
That was a fucking endeavor.
I just couldn't find nuclear material for the scope. It was killing me. But let's actually talk about our topics for the week.
So this week's bit of lore is about centaurs, a mutant man's best friend. Centaurs are mutated creatures. They are the result of experimentation with FEV gone horribly, horribly wrong. On the West Coast, the New California and the Mojave Waste, created by the Master by throwing dogs, cats, humans, and other types of animals into FEV vats and seeing what would come out.
Gross.
Provided rapid and unpredictable mutations. Resulting centaurs can look vastly different from each other. Most look humanoid. This is taken directly from the wiki on centaurs, on the West Coast centaurs. Physically, these creatures are around the size of a bear with large, misshapen torsos and 6 humanoid arms that serve as legs. A cluster of wriggling, fleshy tentacles bloom out from the underside, scrabbling at the ground.
They're just yucky.
Yeah. Branching from their front halves are a pair of long, thick necks with a canine head on the right and a human head on the left. And they're only found on the West Coast. Now, for the Capital Wasteland centaurs,
the more tame version, if you would.
Surprisingly, if you look at what the sprites, I guess, for Fallout 1 are for centaurs, they're terrifying. Yeah,
they're the worst.
Centaurs in Fallout 3 are just... Did you ever play that fish... Or you ever see that fish game that was on, like, a Sega, I think Saturn? That it was like Leonard Nimoy?
Yeah.
They just look like that with bodies.
I guess.
Like... The Capital Wasteland are created by being infected with the FEV super mutant virus in Vault 87. This type of, and this is another direct reference from the thing, from the wiki. This type of centaur retains the hands, arms, and the human-like head of its two-headed cousins. Unlike the two-headed version, however, it has long tentacle-like tongues that come out of its mouth instead of feelers on its back, and it's fucking terrifying, and it shoots at you with a fucking sick goopy goop that gets you from across the map, and you're like, what am I being shot by? But you know why I wanted to talk about centaurs for this episode?
Why is that?
Because the beta just came out, and one of the first things we did is saw a 3-headed possum.
You're right, yeah.
I wrote the lore down for the week before we got to play the beta, so it was more of just like, everything's irradiated, why not just do more irradiation shit?
Yeah, you're right.
So, backstory, I guess, I was freaking out before the beta went live because I wasn't sure if I had everything set up. Kyle, special guest Kyle didn't know if his thing was going to be ready, and special guest Kyle's beta wasn't ready until much later into the show, or much later into the actual playing, and then we had another friend of ours, Taylor, jump in for a little bit with us. So we had a full gang. If you actually go on our Twitter, you'll see the pictures. You'll see my You'll see my Vault Dweller card. You'll see Declan and I's character outside of Greenbrier, which isn't Greenbrier. It's called like White Pine or White Springs.
White Springs.
And then you'll see the four of us outside of White Spring. And especially because Kyle is playing as his character, Dr. Victor Stein, who you'll hear sometimes at the end of our show, there'll be a holotape by Dr. Stein, who is one of Ron Goulman's top leading scientists for Ron Goulman's company.
I'm playing as a character that you will likely be hearing about in a future nuclear family. And that's all I have to say.
Most likely, yeah. I had a fucking time playing this beta. An absolute, just wonderful, magnificent time.
It was just like all of the good feelings that I could think of.
Yeah.
Like, even though things were a little bit like buggy and glitchy at times, it didn't really matter because I was playing Fallout with my fucking friends.
Yeah.
And
like, it was
just so incredible. It was just so cool.
I actually have a list of some things that I'd like to go over with you and get like an idea.
Yeah.
Of what you'd like to say. First, I don't know how many times you watched that intro video where it's like, when the bombs fall or after the fallout settles, we must rebuild. Not just the infrastructure, but the hearts and minds of the American people. That one?
Yeah.
I've watched that probably about 70 times.
Really?
And I watched it today with the game in front of me, and I still got chills. I think it's because it was like, oh, I get to play it now. I had chills.
Yeah, I got chills watching it, because I was like, you know what? Yeah, I do get to do that right now. It's one of those things that like I don't think will ever dissipate for me. That it's like every time we get a new Fallout game, I'm like, fucking yeah. Like I'm just so ready to rock. Another thing I've noticed, the Pip-Boy is fucking beautiful. Yeah, the model's very pretty. But
you can't cycle through, and this is something so stupid, you can't cycle through the way you can on the Pip-Boy in Fallout 4. Like, you can use the bumpers or the triggers, I don't even know. L1, like L1 or L1R1, I can just sit there and spam that and go through all of the menus. But in this one, I can only go from the first menu to the fourth menu, and I couldn't go for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I had to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I know that's so stupid, but it's just something I noticed.
Yeah, just a little design, like whether it's intentional or not, it is to be confirmed. But it's just little things like that. I all around thought that the controls were generally better.
Yeah, the fighting felt super satisfying. And it's barely like they changed anything. But I found
the true real-time VATS is where it's fucking at.
You like it?
I do.
I didn't play, I only shot like 2 things in VATS, and even when I did it, even though Fallout 4, everything still moves, I still had the urge to put the controller down for a second and like get a drink. But
yeah, like if you're in your Pip-Boy, the world is still going around you. There's no escape.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you've played Fallout VR. With that, the world's always moving too.
Yeah, that should be an option in the next game. Like the next mainline, like Fallout 5 or Fallout like Louisiana or whatever. The lighting. Let's talk about the lighting.
Ooh, is that pretty?
Everything, like even when you're in the vault and it's dark, even the places where it's dark, like we were at a motel. Remember that motel where we like spent way too long? And you were like, I have to craft this weapon. Or no, where we found the possum, which wasn't far.
Yeah, down near Sutton.
Yeah. I remember we were like, I was in there and I was going, it's so fucking dark in here. And like, when you're outside in the world, everything is so pretty. Like we're walking around and it's like fall. Like there's all shades of like yellow and orange and like brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the most lush Fallout game we've ever had.
Oh my god, we got to fucking White Spring, and there's like grass, like real ass grass.
There's real grass on a golf course.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
And let me tell you, if you haven't gone to White Springs, fucking don't. Yeah. Because we went there and we were like level 4 and we just got like shit on.
No, go there to look around.
Go there to look around.
Tourist.
Don't go there and cause trouble like us.
Things, yeah.
Yeah.
You got pissed off because you sold all your shit so you could buy like a suit of armor, and then you bought it. You couldn't even wear it, and I was like, Declan, oh. And then somebody, I think it was Taylor that we were playing with, or maybe special guest Kyle, he said that somebody stole something, and then all of a sudden I see 2 police protectrons walk in, and I went, oh look, the police are here, and you come out of nowhere and just go, fuck 12. And I wasn't expecting it. You just go, fuck 12. And I'm just like, wait, why? I mean, yeah, fuck 12, but why fuck 12? And you're like, cause I just got scammed. And I was like, Declan, you wanna like give it to the man? And you're like, yeah. So we just started shooting robots.
And then we got shit on by like 1 billion Assaultrons.
Yeah, they were like level 40.
Yeah.
So I have here in my notes, it says Declan / disgusting with a question mark.
Disgusting?
I'm trying to think of where we were that you would have said something disgusting.
Maybe it's just that I'm disgusting.
I mean, do you want to talk about that?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, I mean, maybe like it was disgusting as in an exclamatory, like in a good way, like gross.
No, because I would have wrote like disgusting, but I wrote disgusting.
Oh yeah, there's like piles of meat that go bad.
Oh, did you find that?
Just gross.
Yeah,
like if you kill a raider, or like if you kill anything and you stick around too long, the bodies decay into like these just meat piles, and it's generally just actually gross.
Oh, that's what that was from?
Yeah. They're just like squishy and gross, and there's like flies all over the place. It's so vividly gross.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You also said the syringer was like way cooler.
Looks like way cooler.
I like how it has like a patina to it, that like greenish rusted color.
Yeah.
The loading screens I really liked.
Yeah, the loading screens I think were really nice.
I like how it was, Taylor said that some of them were pictures that we had already taken in-game.
Which I think is brilliant.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool idea. But a lot of them are just landscapes with like little tips, but I think it's better than having a blank background that I can rotate in-game models of things.
I would like to ask you a question to see if you noticed something, because I did. Because I fucking love level design and world building. Despite you being disconnected for server issues, how many actual loading screens did you encounter?
Getting on, getting off, going into Greenbrier.
That's it.
Yeah, and I wanted to make a point of that, and I didn't write it down, actually.
Yeah, the entirety of the Wasteland is like one supercell, and goddamn, I don't know how they got it to actually run.
There's probably going to be another one, because I know there's at least one more vault we can go to.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a couple for like the big places.
Yeah.
There's going to be cells, but like for
maybe not, because there's a couple vaults in Fallout 4 that you don't have to, like when you go to that vault that Nick Valentine's in.
Yeah,
you go through like you go through like the whole first floor.
But like I'm sure like Greenbrier's a big place.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
my god. Oh yeah.
There are other like big indoor complexes. I'm sure like the silos are going to be these big things. But for the most part, they made the buildings in such a way that they're a part of the main cell, and there's no loading screen.
Actually, speaking of things that are huge, I wanted to make a very, very valid point. And I'm sorry, I don't want that to think like I wasn't listening to you. I was.
No, go ahead.
Just before I forget, the scale of everything.
It's ginormous.
Like, walking through Greenbrier has like a whole section of it that's like a strip mall.
Yeah.
And like those halls are huge. And then we got past the fuck is it called? We got past help me out here.
The golf course?
Not the golf course. It was before that. It was like telephone wires.
Yeah.
And like phone lines and shit, and like these radio beacons, and everything is just so huge. And
the mountains that you can scale, and not in a Skyrim, oh, you can scale that mountain kind of way, but like it's actually like the terrain is interesting.
Yeah, and like you were going on the road, and I was like, "What are you doing? Let's cut through the mountain."
I want to be a mountain mama.
So when we left the vault, I don't know about you, but I thought it was very lackluster.
The vault itself?
Like leaving the vault, it wasn't special to me.
The actual act of leaving the vault wasn't quite as special as it's been in past. The 3 minutes after leaving the vault was just kind of raw elation. Like, I immediately found this little shack that, despite being right outside the vault door, no one else on my server had even found.
Yeah.
And I was just exploring it and picking up, like, pieces, and I'm, like, exploring how the new systems work for customizing weapons, and I'm like, this is right here under everyone's nose, and I'm the one that found it.
Yeah. Well, that happened when we went to the Mothman.
And yeah, the Mothman. We were the first people on the server to get to the Mothman. Like, I like the fact that the servers aren't necessarily that big.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when you do see someone, it feels good. It feels like it makes sense for me to see them. And like, one of the coolest things about leaving the vault and there being other people around is that I had an actual sense of survival.
Okay.
Where like in Fallout 4 and any of the other Fallout games, really, I am kind of just this demigod that walks amongst all the scrubs of the wasteland because I'm not playing against a person.
Mm-hmm.
In this, I'm actually playing against people that are presumably smart and know what they're doing. So they're going to be after all of the good loot. They're going to know where to look. They've played a Bethesda game before. They're not stupid.
Yeah.
It's not like everything's perfectly laid out on a silver platter for me. It's a whole damn buffet that everyone has to take from.
Huh. I don't know.
I liked that.
I left the vault and my kind of first thought was kind of like, all right, how do I get in with you?
Yeah,
I just kind of teabagged with people. Yeah, it was so easy. I was just like, join Declan. All right, I'm here.
Yeah, it was great.
I think leaving the vault for me was very lackluster. It was very anticlimactic. That's my favorite part about any Fallout game is you leaving the vault and being exposed to this new world that has all these things you can go and explore, right? And I just didn't feel it. I didn't get that. You kind of leave the vault and it's just like, and then you're done.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right, that could have been better. The view's okay. Actually, I kind of thought the view was shitty, to be honest. I thought it looked like a shitty watercolor painting when I first got out. But that also could have been just because it's a beta and they're trying to stress the fuck out of it so they can see what it can actually do. Could also be my internet. Could also be a myriad of reasons. I just thought it wasn't the best looking thing when I got out.
Like, I will have been spoiled as of recent. I've been replaying Fallout 4 on PC with like Uber mods.
Yeah.
So I've been playing on my new monitor, so it looks fucking beautiful. I get out of the vault and it's locked at 30 frames on PlayStation. That's running at 1080p upscaled to 4K, so it doesn't really look good because it's just 1080p that's blurred. And it was just like, oh, I wish this was like visually appealing again. That's why I wish cross-play would be a thing. Because I would play on PC because I know my rig can handle running it at 4K.
Yeah, and then you could just play with us.
Yeah, that would be the ideal.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I hope is that your character is stored on Bethesda's servers and not PSN.
Ooh.
Because that way I can play in my own time when no one else is around and progress my character on my PC. And then when I want to play with you, I'll just hop on PlayStation.
Knowing PlayStation, though?
Yeah, they're going to probably cuck it.
Yeah, and I'm not a Fortnite person at all, but I know Fortnite did that if you signed in to any other account, or if you couldn't sign, like if I went over a friend's house who had an Xbox and I wanted to sign into my Fortnite account, I couldn't because it was on PlayStation, but if I had an Xbox account and signed into PlayStation, I could never get that account back. It is now a PlayStation account.
Yeah, and that's some shit.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I still have this problem from Fallout 3 whenever I see the quick menu drop down for loot instead of going... You know how like 3 was like you running through someone's pockets?
Yeah.
And instead of you like going through someone's pockets, and 4 it was like, this is what's in the pockets, take what you want.
Yeah.
I still have the urge every time I run pockets to hit B or hit circle to get out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like this. I've been playing Fallout 4 since 2015. It's 2018. Like 3 years later, 2 games in, and I still have this problem. It's just one of those things that I noticed.
It's the muscle memory that you will never lose.
Yeah, it really is. I opened up the map the first time, and I thought the game was going to crash on me.
Really? Why?
Yeah, the game just stopped working for like a good 30 seconds.
It was probably thinking about all the shit that it had to load.
No, absolutely. I'm just saying, this is just stuff that I wrote down as notes.
It's just
that
observation,
I wanted to...
yeah.
I joined you. It was easy as pie, like I said before. I literally, you hold, yeah. I found out for social interaction, hold the start button, and it'll show online in your party or in your team and your friends that are online. And I literally went to you and went join Declan. Click there. He was right next to me. We met on a road, and I went, okay, cool.
And then you punch me in the face.
Yeah, and then we punch each other for like 20 minutes.
Another thing that I thought was kind of something that I liked was that you are forced to play on pacifist until level 5.
Mm-hmm. But we couldn't even get that to work.
I mean, at the same time, maybe level 5 that's an inclusive statement where once you hit level 6, you're no longer level 5, then you can do it, right?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
So, once you basically have to level up a little bit and learn how to play the fucking game before you can start PvP. And I kind of like that, so that way there's no one camping the vault for brand new people that come out and just murderizing them.
Well, there's a few places that are, like, PvP no-go zones.
Yeah, but, like, the trolls will find a way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, I want to know how mines work. Like, if I throw a mine down in like, a hallway, right? Like, say I'm fighting some Scorched, and I'm just like, oh shit, there might be some behind me. Let me throw a mine down. And say there's none behind me or none come after me from that direction. And 25 minutes later, Declan walks in and goes, oh shit, I haven't been here before. Let me go exploring. And you walk in and poof, this mine goes off. Like, is that unintentional PvP?
That's actually an interesting question.
Like,
I would assume that damage is as a result of your action, so it would count as you doing damage.
Okay, well, say you've made a character who has a lot of, like, really good stats into explosives, and that goes off, and it does, like Final Fantasy 999 damage, right? And drops you.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're all of a sudden a criminal, a wanted killer because of that?
I don't think,
Like, whose fault is it in that situation? You for walking into it and not minding where you're walking? Or the person throwing, like me, throwing the mines going, fuck it, and just tossing out mines like frisbees?
I don't really know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a thing I was thinking of.
There's one thing I want to talk about.
Okay, let me hear it.
It's the goddamn music. I love it.
I hope you were going to wait a second. I have a whole thing for it.
Oh, do you?
No, go on with it. We can jump around.
The music is incredible. And
Son.
I am so feeling gratified because when I host Fallout D&D, I've had a Fallout adjacent music playlist that I've been building for years at this point. And a bunch of songs from that playlist are in the game, and I'm just like, yeah, I knew that was a Fallout song.
There was two moments, two quick moments. It was the four of us. I think everybody was there. No, it was the three of us. It was you, me, and special guest Kyle. And we were going through some, like, camp. And all of a sudden, the Beach Boys came on. And I yelled out loud. I was like, it's the fucking Beach Boys! I was so excited about this band that I know two songs about, and I only know them from, like, Full House, and because the one guy, I can't think of his name, the one guy was, like, good friends with Charles Manson, and the Beach Boys wound up covering one of Charles Manson's songs.
I do recall that. See, I thought you were going to tell the story about when we were walking down the road, and then you just heard...
Oh, that one too.
Bum, 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 bum,
yeah.
bum, 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 and we all lost it. And we're like, it's the song.
It took you long enough to get it.
Yeah. Mr. Sandman. Holy shit.
You know what kind of sucks though?
What?
I heard the bum 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 bum, and my first thought was gravy. I was just like,
yeah. That's funny.
Like, I'm not even a big Young Gravy fan, but that was the first thing I thought of, just gravy.
I just thought of, like, no shit, they actually got it.
Yeah, finally. You have a perk called Sandman, Mr. Sandman perk. Like, or what is it called?
It's
What's the
Mr.
official
Sandman.
name? Is it the official perk? It's officially called Mr. Sandman?
Yeah.
That song is fucking... We all freaked the fuck out when that came on.
Another one that I freaked out about was Jukebox Saturday Night. Because I've had that on my Fallout playlist for basically ever.
You knew it right away.
Yeah. Because I was humming it and I was like, wait a second, I'm not listening to my Spotify playlist. This is in the game.
No, they truly do have a keen ear for music. They really, really do.
They really do.
It's incredible, like, what they find and, like, a lot of shit that, like, you would never think of.
They must be, like, the sole fucking benefactor for the descendants of the Ink Spots.
They have to own the rights to those songs at this point.
Oh, just, like, totally own them outright.
Just buy them flat out. It'd be cheaper to buy them flat out than to license them for every game, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, here's something stupid that I loved. Country Roads came on.
Yep.
And all four of us sang Country Roads together. And like,
it is the anthem of the game.
No, it is, but it was just like such a wholesome moment. Like I had a big doofy smile on my face, and like I just got chills, and I was like, I wanted this, and I never knew I wanted this.
Yeah,
was a multiplayer Fallout game, and like now we have it.
In fact, I remember when we were in high school and I brought it up, you were against it.
Was I? Explain, because I don't remember this.
Because you, from the get-go, are always like, Fallout was about being lonely. It would defeat the purpose of the entire game.
Huh.
Yeah, you were totally against it. Because I was like, remember, what if Fallout 4, the trailer just came out. I was like, what if Fallout 4 is multiplayer? And you're like, no, there would never be a multiplayer Fallout game.
Huh. I don't remember that, but look how things have changed.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So here's a question for you then, because we were all pretty happy playing the game. Does the atmosphere seem too happy to you so far?
I don't think so.
Okay, can I explain why I feel like it's a little too happy?
Sure.
3, everything is bombed to fuck because it's the capital of a super nation, right?
Yes.
Fine. New Vegas is, you can see that it's starting to be rebuilt into what it formerly once was, but there's also a huge kind of overwhelming feeling of everything and nothing is being done at the same time because the two biggest factions keep fighting with themselves. And 4 has this kind of optimistic, pessimistic view of things. Like everything's kind of dark in its own way, but at the same time it's like this is the start of how we rebuild from here on out.
Yeah.
This one is right after the bombs drop, and granted, we didn't touch the story whatsoever, and I don't think we're going to touch the story until the game actually comes out.
Agreed.
We're just going to look around and craft shit and just kind of look at grass and whatever.
Fuck yeah.
But, I don't know, just some of it just seemed a little too happy, like, and I know that's such a fucking nitpick, but I think the whole being in the vault and leaving the vault part could have been a little better. I like how it's, you're in and you're out. It was real quick. And especially if you've watched, like when I've watched a couple videos about being in the vault, and once I actually get the game, I'll sit there and I'll read notes and I'll flip through things and I'll do this and I'll do that and I won't forget my cards. But I don't know. It was just kind of like, maybe just because I was so happy to be playing it.
Yeah, it was just like a good vibe sesh.
Yeah. I mean, like,
the way that I see it is, it's not so much that it's too happy, but it leaves you with an optimistic taste in your mouth because of you're made to feel like, listen, this is what you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
This is your duty, and you're going to quite literally rebuild the fallen world.
Yeah. And it
leaves you with a duty, a mission, and it is meant to be optimist. It's meant to induce optimism.
I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah, at least that's how I registered it. I mean, of course, when we touched the story, I watched someone play the first, 1 or 2 quests.
You fucking whore, without me?
I didn't do it.
Wow. I can't believe you just do that to me like that.
Well,
there's doing somebody dirty, and there's that.
You're right. But, it was Oxhorn. I'm gonna rat him out. Oxhorn, come on the podcast.
Yeah, come on, dude.
But, I saw the first, quest first, and I think that the second quest, and there are some, relatively dark undertones to what's going on. I think we just went in and we were, the essence of Mr. Sandman, just, upbeat singing and running around, shooting shit.
Yeah. It was, yeah, you know what, you saying that, actually, it's the closest thing I've ever had to having a multi-person experience within Fallout. I think I've told this story before. I went to a friend of the show, Steven. Hey, Steven. I went to his house, and I must have been in 7th or 8th grade, and he was like, hey man, I'm having a bonfire at my house, and I barely knew him at the time. And I was like, all right, I'll come if I can, whatever. And I got there, and somehow we started talking about Fallout, and someone started singing Let's Go Sunnin', and all of us, 12 dudes, started singing Let's Go Sunnin'.
I mean, it's so good for you.
It's great. But it was just that because we all started singing together and playing the game, and it just kind of brought me back to that. I'm even retelling these stories that happened not even an hour ago, and I'm a big fucking stupid smile on my face the whole time.
Of course. And I mean, I'm kind of here to say I told you so, not to you, but to everyone out there that's oh, Fallout 76 is gonna suck.
Yeah.
I feel like it's doomed is not the right word. It's not doomed to be successful, but it's destined. It was destined for success because it's just what we needed.
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air into something that's not necessarily dead, but something that is just like it's like, do you really need that new car, or do you want it just because like you can afford it right now?
Fallout 76 is new car smell.
Yeah. But I don't like that analogy because the new car smell fades.
Yeah.
And I don't think going into this game, you should say like, this is a Fallout game, because it is a Fallout game and it feels really much like I don't even know if that's a phrase really much, but it feels so much like a Fallout game, and you're playing it and you're like, yeah, and you're just like, this isn't, it's, I don't know how else to explain it. I really don't. The hit detection's off. I'll tell you that right away.
I think that's your internet, because I experienced some pretty good hit detection.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't feel any feedback when I hit things. Like, I told you I was playing a melee build in Fallout 4, like a week ago. Yeah. And every time you would hit something, there had like a nice sense of feedback. Since we were all level 1 through 5, I was using mostly I found like the devil's pitchfork. I found like a pitchfork that was heated. So it was a two-handed weapon, and every time I used it, I didn't really get a lot of feedback. It was just kind of like, and that was it.
Yeah. Which I think that's going to be very dependent on your internet speed, which is kind of like, it's kind of the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
That your latency is tied to your internet. And that kind of sucks for people that are in low coverage areas or like countries that don't have very good internet availability.
With that being said, for it being a beta and them trying to figure everything out, we didn't really have a lot of problems.
Yeah, the worst of it was us trying to... At one point, you had left the game because there was a glitch that crashed it.
Yeah. Well, let me explain what it was. I had died, and then nobody came to get me up in time, so I hit rejoin group or respawn on Declan or whatever, and it wouldn't let me come back to him. So I'm sitting there going, okay, now what? So I had to like turn my PlayStation off twice. And then as soon as I got back in, he got kicked out.
So what we think is that the server was at capacity and it just wouldn't let him join because the server was at capacity. And when I had hit a glitch that allowed me to get kicked off, he took the spot.
Now, I got kicked out. It was 7:45, and I didn't get back until 8:10. So
like that wasn't a horrible outage, but...
Yeah, but I mean,
a little memo on the title screen like, oh, this server's at capacity.
Yeah.
Would have been great. But again, it's beta. I can forgive these things.
Also, did you crafted a lot, right?
Yes, I did.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I really do, because I really like what they've done with it. So now crafting tables have two modes. They have craft and modify.
Craft?
So Minecraft 2. But you can basically make something from scratch for like a lot of raw material, or you can modify like it is in Fallout 4. But the thing about modification is you need to know the recipe or have the mod in your inventory to be able to actually change your weapon. So instead of going in and saying like, oh, I just found the jackpot of 1 billion aluminum and adhesive and making the most boosted weapon that you can, you actually have to take the time to find the recipes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really good. Like, if you hear, like, a friend say, oh, you can get the modified pistol grip in the Mothman Museum, that's a mission for me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make a really good pistol, I'm going to go get that grip because I know it's in the museum, and hope that someone didn't take it already.
Yeah, I feel that.
I think that it's really, like, I think it's solid. Oh, so, also, weapon degradation is back.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But you can't repair... From what I had seen, you can't repair a damaged weapon with another one from your inventory like in the past. You have to use the crafting bench to repair.
Yeah.
Which I'm into. I think that makes more sense, actually.
You know what I'd really like to see?
What's that?
Say I have like a hunting rifle, right? And it looks the way a hunting rifle does, and then after 10 repairs, it's got like extra duct tape on it. And then after like cool. 20 repairs, and once you hit like 100 repairs, it's got like extra carvings for how many kills you have and like a bandana hanging off of it. I think that'd be really cool, because it would be like an amalgamation of a bunch of different parts and a bunch of different types of adhesive that had gone into it. I just little shit. I don't expect anything like that because I know it's a lot of extra work, but
that kind of attention to detail is not off brand for Bethesda.
No, it isn't. It isn't. What else do I have here? So when you were modifying, did you get stuck in the crafting bench at all?
Nope.
Because I made leather armor, and making leather armor was surprisingly satisfying. Like, it was just like, oh, I have this many pieces of cloth, this many pieces of leather, some screws, some other shit, and it was just like, and it was done.
Yeah.
And that was just great. It was just a great feeling of just being like, oh, good, I'm done.
Yeah, like there was kind of like no bullshit.
Yeah, and it was just like, I didn't have armor, and now I do. So it's kind of like, you don't have an excuse to not have armor on.
Yeah. And on the same vein as that with armor, you can put cosmetic items over armor universally.
Yeah, you can have your vault suit on that has all of your armor, and then throw a suit on. So it looks like you're just wearing a suit, but you're actually getting all the perks of your vault suit with your armor.
Yeah, like right now I have the vault suit with level 2 leather armor on all my body parts. But over top of it I have the Scout Ranger fucking uniform and the Ranger hat. And it looks rad. I just am really into my getup right now.
I hate the shorts.
I love the shorts. They're so true to what it actually looks like. They really are.
Just how cold is it? 35 shorts and sandals.
No, I'm too old for that shit now. If it's like below 40, I'm wearing jeans.
You've changed.
I have changed. I've changed for the better. Anything else that really jumped out at you that
I'm just reading everything. The modify screen, whenever I would modify a weapon, had this like patchy effect. This patchy, like, it almost looked like a net was cast over it.
That's definitely a bug.
Yeah, which is fine. It's not like anything big. You said I like jumped down a mountain and it did an animation where I slid on my ass.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Super impressive.
I was playing on third person trying to do that again for like a good 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Because like, I'm not sure if any of our listeners at home are hikers or adventurers, like I consider myself. But if you have like a steep incline, like more than 45 degrees, and you need to slide on your ass down a mountain, there's a certain way that your body looks. Like you put like your leg down and like you brace your arms and stuff, and it's very specific. And when we were like traversing a mountain to get to this rest stop to loot, there was a point where Vince jumped off like a rock ledge, landed on a patch of dirt that was at a really extreme angle, and it had looked like he had put his character had put his arms out and slid down on his side like one would. And I thought that was like so impressive looking. The animation was so tight.
I didn't see it, so I'll take your word on it.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really well done. I'm excited to see all the new animals.
Yes.
We saw the 3-headed possum, which is fucking gross.
No,
and I'm excited to see what else.
He's so fucking repugnant.
Repugnant is the perfect word.
He's got like extra pieces growing off of him, and he's just like, why do you need 3 mouths, dude? Like, you're not even cute. You're a possum.
There's 2 more that you need to feed.
Yeah. Also, Kyle, special guest Kyle, wanted me to bring up that food and thirst bars aren't always shown, and they're only shown when you get into the red or when it decreases a little bit. Like I had dysentery because I was hungry.
Oregon Trail.
Yeah, I was hungry and I was like, I need food. So I took, I think it was like mole rat meat that wasn't cooked, and it was like, you have a 22% chance, which I think is a great feature. It'll be like, this will give you 25% hunger back, but you have a 22% chance of
getting a disease. Yeah,
getting a disease. So I had dysentery. You had like a weakened immune system, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to get
something that gave, I took a bad version of Radex to get rid of radiation. And it gave me a minus 50... It was a 50% debuff to radiation resistance or something.
Oh, wow.
It was like a laced version that I just like found on a table.
I was trying to get like...
I was trying to the entire session too, so I wonder how long it's for.
Probably till you get it fixed.
Yeah.
See, I want to know, because I got crippled, but right after I got crippled, I died. I want to know how long crippling lasts for, because in Fallout 4, if you get crippled and wait like 10, 15 seconds, it goes away.
Yeah.
If you go like 15 seconds without taking damage, it's just like, okay, I can walk again. Sorry, I had a Charlie horse.
Yeah.
We office spaced. Remember when we office spaced that Protectron? There was like 4 dudes who ran up on a Protectron, like that scene in Office Space when they beat the shit out of the printer. We all have lead pipes, and we're just like, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, that was really satisfying.
Yeah.
on the opposite, the receiving end of that, we went to Greenbrier, and there's like a little like country club, like series of like village houses, and each one of them had like super high leveled ghouls. And at one point there was 4 level 15 ghouls chasing me, a level 4, and one that had like a crown on that was level 22.
Jesus Christ.
I got pummeled.
That's awesome.
I was destroyed.
See, I was trying to get out of there because we had major aggro pulling from all the Greenbrier robots.
It was before the robots.
Was it? Because I had died. Wait, I died from the ghouls, did I not?
Yeah, but I had drawn their aggro and escaped their aggro because they killed me, and then I spawned at Greenbrier, like, out front. We went inside, we did shopping, we fucked 12. Then we came back out, and all the ghouls were still alive because I escaped, and they just kind of destroyed you and Kyle.
Yeah. Speaking of Kyle, special guest Kyle, I have written down Kyle wearing women's clothing.
Yeah,
I don't know why I had to write that down, but I felt like it'd be important for posterity. So there's a recording somewhere of me going, Kyle wearing women's clothing.
Yeah,
there you go, buddy.
Really funny that it was actually the wife's clothing from the opening of Fallout 4.
Yeah,
and he was playing this like super masculine doctor man, and he just had the wife's like high-waisted pants on.
You think of Stein as very masculine?
Yeah, I would.
I don't think of him as non-masculine. I just don't think of him as like a
macho man.
Yeah, I just think of him as like a man who values brain over brawn.
Which
that's nothing to say against Kyle or his character. I'm just saying from the way, because that's a character that Kyle would play for D&D. So I just kind of picture that character because that's the way he portrayed it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to dive more into my character.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how your character is going to pan out because you're the only character that didn't play D&D. You're the DM, so you had to make the stories up.
I had to make up everything in my brain space, and this character is by far my favorite that I've created.
Really?
Yeah, one of my favorite characters that I've created across my multiverses.
Oh, she's in multiple?
No, but I'm talking about of all the characters I've ever made for any iteration of D&D, this is one of my favorites. Or at least one of my favorite performances.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's what I kind of did with Ron. Like, I run that game in the town over, with the D&D game.
Yeah.
And Ron shows up all the time, and they'll be like, oh, we need work, or something. And be like, go find Ron Goulman. And two kids have been playing with us for like 2 years now. And every time I'm like, oh, Ron's showing up. And he's like, what does Ron even do? And I was like, he's a lawyer. And they go, when the fuck has Ron ever been inside of a courtroom? I've been playing for 2 years, and we have never taken anybody to court. And I was like, shut up.
Well, Ron, if you do, you'd know that you would win.
Not even that. I was like, Ron has a badge that just says, like, hello, my name is Plot Device. Just go to him so we can move forward the story. And speaking of tangents, this game is very distractible. Like, it's very...
The world is so pretty.
Yeah.
You get sucked into every little corner of it.
And you and I said that at the same time, I remember.
Yeah.
Like the same exact time. Like, this is so beautiful. But we were trying to get to Greenbrier or someplace just to look around. And
to take our family photo.
Yeah. And we must have stopped like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, we spent like an hour and a half at one of our tangents.
Yeah.
But like the world... The level design is incredible.
Yeah, and holotapes are fucking, like, beefy 3.5 minute stories.
Oh, and I knew it. I knew that's how it was going to be.
No, I saw footage of holotapes beforehand, and it was just like, oh my god, get to it. Not that I'm saying, like, I don't want to listen to a 2 or 3 minute holotape. I do, a lot, because it's going to build the world around me. But I'm also playing on a timed beta with 4 of my friends that are talking over each other.
Yeah, I completely know what you mean.
So I think the menus need work. To be completely honest, I like the way menus work when I trade with you in the sense that I can see everything, but for me to put an item up and for me to say I need this much money for the item, or I need no money at all, I'll sell this many, or I'm looking for this, or what have you, just be like, It doesn't make sense because you and I must have spent a solid 10 minutes just trying to figure out how the menu worked.
See, I didn't think the menus were that bad. I thought for how difficult of a menu that has to exist for that functionality to work, I think they did the best they could.
No, and you know what? I haven't tried any other versions of it, so I can't say that this version is better or they could have done better or anything, because I don't know. But it's a pretty solid way to do it. I like how when you look at an item, it shows you the item in full color and not in green, monochrome, fucking the way Fallout 4 is.
Yeah.
I like that it actually shows you what it looks like.
You know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah, and like there's different types of screws and there's different types of springs. Because I was like, Declan, I have a bunch of junk. You need a screw to make your rifle better. I'll trade it to you. And I went all the way down to S and it wasn't there. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. And you're like, no, I'm requesting loose screws and loose springs from you. And I was like, oh, so I guess that means there's tight springs or new springs?
I think it just meant, like, misplaced as, like, loose change.
Oh, I didn't think of it like that. You're right. That makes a lot more sense. I'm sorry. I'm very tired.
No, I totally get it. I mean, we just got off the beta and, like, we played the entire session. It was exhausting.
We got in 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's anything else I have written down here. Okay, I think to top it off... Sorry?
There's one more... Wait, is this like a big topper offer?
Well, no. What do you want to say?
I really like the inclusion that the drugs are tiered. Like, you could have, like, a diluted Radaway that, like, only does a little bit because it's, like, partially used.
Yeah.
I think that was really cool. I really like that.
Well, you can only have one chem active at a time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you take Jet and then you want to take Psycho, you have to wait for Jet to wear off.
So you can't just stack, like, a billion things?
No, like, you know how, like, back in the day you'd get nervous playing Fallout and go and you just take, like, you'd eat a bunch of cheese wheels, essentially?
Yeah.
You can't do that. Like, you can do that, but I don't think you get the effects. It's like PEMDAS. It just cancels each other out.
So what were you gonna say?
Fuck 12.
Oh.
I think that's a given. When I was 11, I turned 13 because I don't fuck with 12. Did we talk about Kyle in women's clothing?
We did.
We did talk about Kyle in women's clothing?
Yes, we talked about special guest Kyle in women's clothing.
Special guest Kyle was in women's clothing. We spoke about that.
At length.
Okay. So I think to kind of top it off, because we got off a little early so we can kind of prepare for the show and get something to eat and get a drink and everything. I found it very surprising all the shit that you can just kind of pick up.
Yeah.
That you can just kind of pick up like there's throwing knives and tomahawks, like a bunch of shit I would have never thought would be in a Fallout game. And there's an area that I guess is mostly it uses robots or automatons as its staff, and I found in a parking lot a bunch of protester signs that said, the one was saying like the blood of humans or something for robots. And then my favorite one was my dad needs a job, because if I found that sign anywhere else without the two other signs, it would have been totally out of context. So,
my dad needs a job.
Just my dad needs a job. Like, I'm his resume. Excuse me. My father requires employment. It was just super funny. So I gave Declan a sign. I was like, yo, let's beat the shit out of each other with signs. Cause we were both level 5. So we must have looked at each other in this like little bar next to Greenbrier or White Pine or whatever it's called for a good 10 or White Spring for a good 10 minutes. And we beat the shit out of each other with these signs that we didn't even fucking do any damage, but it was just so much fun to beat him up and go, my dad needs a job.
Yeah, it was the equivalent of like using a pool noodle to beat someone up.
Yeah, and it did no damage. I think it did like 13 damage, and I had 1 spec into strength, so it must have did 9 for you, if that.
Yeah, it was just a really good experience.
Oh shit, I totally forgot about this. I should have said this earlier. Not to top it off, I'll top it off with this, I guess. The fucking quick wheel.
As in, like, the favorite weapons?
Yeah, like, if you hit down on the D-pad, it's emotes. If you hit right on the D-pad, it's a quick stim pack. If you hit up, it's a quick favorite menu.
Yeah, if you hold up the up button, it gives you a wheel for your favorites.
Because it was like a armor and a weapon and a stim pack. And if you hit left, and this is the greatest cultural achievement since the moon landing, if you hit left, it brings up your last used weapon, which is fucking genius, especially in a survival scenario like this, because I can just say, okay, say my main weapon is a shotgun, or say my main weapon's a hunting rifle, but my backup is a pistol. I just boom, and I'm done, and I'm there, and I'm ready to rock. And I fucking thought that was genius.
My main was, I'm trying to main in pistols.
Yeah.
Because they're really easy to upgrade. They are effective.
And the pipe revolver was so satisfying, and I hate pipe weapons.
Yeah, the revolver is really good. So I'm trying to main on pistols because they're easy and plentiful. But I also need some hard-hitting stuff. So I made a really good hunting rifle for as long as I was playing, I've been getting parts to upgrade it. So whenever I would need to get a little bit of more range or more damage, I would quick tap the left button and it'd bring up my hunting rifle. It was great.
Yeah, it was much better than like you can have your weapon wheel where you can like hit up and then X and then it would bring up a different weapon. It was just, even though that's a pretty quick response, it was just so much quicker to go bam and I'm in and I'm out. Like I know what I need, I got what I got, and then I'm out.
I wasn't playing on PC, but I know that I will eventually, and I know that I like the number system for hotkeys, like in all the other Fallout games. Like, I know that I always have stim packs on 5. I always have my shotgun on 4.
Okay.
Like, I have, like, my own mental setup. So, I would like to see if it maps properly to that.
Yeah, I fucking picked up a 2-handed axe in 76.
Oh yeah, you did have that. That looked really cool.
Oh my god, I was like, bam. Bam, bam. Oh, it was so satisfying.
You seem to be playing a melee build. Are you going to keep up with it?
For the beta, I think I will. But when we get into it, I think I'm going to really play Ron. Like, really, really play Ron.
So, play unarmed with one pistol?
No. Not unarmed. Ron has no unarmed. Ron has, like, no strength. Ron has, I think, like, a 2 strength on the D&D sheet. I'm going to play mostly charisma and endurance.
Fair. So you're not going to really carry any weapons?
Well, no, I'm going to carry a pistol.
Yeah, just the one.
Not just a singular pistol. I'll probably have a hunting rifle, because I'm not going to not have a hunting rifle, because that's my favorite weapon in the game.
Yeah.
But, like, for roleplay purposes, he'll have his pistol.
Yeah.
Like, his pistol.
Fantastic.
But, I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about, my friend?
I want to talk about Shane Ivers.
Yo, Shane Ivers, my boy.
Yeah, he made Feather Duster. It's our wonderful, illustrious intro music. It's no longer the spooky music of last week.
Yeah.
We're back with Shane Ivers' jam. And if you want to download it, you can get it at silvermansounds.com/free music/featherduster.
But Declan.
Yes, Vince.
What if the fine folks at home want to find out about what you're doing?
If they want to find out about what I'm doing, which is probably homework and crying into my coffee, they can find me on Twitter. At Declan_Bean.
One more time?
At Declan_Bean. But
a little slower, please? I'm a little hard of hearing.
Let me be very clear. At Declan_Bean.
Now, you're going fast, but now you're just quiet. If you'd like to find me, at the Boogans. That's at, all capitals, _Boogans. And if you'd like to follow the show, you can find the show on Twitter at Atomic Radio Hour. Again, that's at Atomic Radio Hour. And if you'd be so kind to join our Discord, the link will be in the description below. Jump on in. There's always somebody on. There's always somebody talking. You could jump in and have a conversation with us about virtually anything.
Yeah, and especially now with Fallout 76, we're going to be extra into chatting.
Unless you spoil things. If you spoil things, you get an instant ban.
That is true.
And that's your warning, and it's in the rules. If you spoil 76, not only for myself, but anybody else in the Discord, it is an instant ban. You've been warned.
But we're not here to redo the Riot Act. We're here to tell... We're not... What?
Who?
I said we're not here to redo the Riot Act.
I don't know what that is.
Like, we're not here to lecture you.
But what is the Riot Act? Like the Riot Act of 1812?
No, that's just it's a saying.
Who says that?
Like fucking people.
What people?
That's a common American phrase of
in
like,
what
the Riot
America?
Act.
Not in my America.
Jesus Christ.
I've never heard anybody ever say that.
Here's our content for the week. Bye.
No, wait, hold on.
I just wanted to capture this moment. It's absolutely incredible. It's finally Reclamation Day. I mean, the party last night could have told anyone that, but geez Louise. We're finally getting out of this place. I mean, I really shouldn't complain, but I'm more excited. I've never been out of this vault. It's just, I've seen the pictures, but it's hard to imagine what the boundless sky even looks like. I need to get going. I really do. But, I don't know, it's kind of sad to hear that the vault's not going to be inhabitable anymore. Kind of like I'm leaving my home forever. I wonder what it's going to look like out there. I mean, the Overseer told us to prepare for the worst, but I can't help but be hopeful. Maybe there's already people out there doing what we were meant to do. Maybe it'll be easy on us. But it could also be a disaster. I'm just so nervous but excited. I really can't explain this feeling. Well, I best get going. The vault door is going to be opening soon. Time to go rebuild America, as they always tell us. Well, wish me luck.
Atomic Radio Hour.